First, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And a shout out to the Akim out there that's also going out and pushing this truth. You know, that are just now coming into this truth and coming out here and proclaiming it. Because we haven't a lot of time yet, so it's now time to, as other brothers say, to utilize this time to go to camp, to be at camp during this grace period. So H.O.D.C, now they're claiming that you have to physically go to Israel in order to be saved. That Great Millstone will not receive spiritual blessing. Well, that's kind of funny, though. All right, let's get down to the business of everything, and let's talk about the cost. All right, the cost to get to Israeli state, which is Edomite occupied. It's a Zionist entity. All right. Well, what do we do here at Great Millstone? All right, let's talk about that a little bit. We detest, we protest, we detest everything about Esau, the so-called white man, right? So what would we do if we were actually there? Okay, what happens to Palestinian protesters in the Zionist-occupied Israeli state? Okay. Oh, you think those Palestinians are big-time protesters? Really? We detest a lot, even more so than the Palestinians do. What the Palestinians are doing, you know, over the Zionist entity occupied Jerusalem, is nothing as compared to what we're doing. we're calling out the devil for who he is, Esau, the so-called white man, you know, and we're detesting everything about him. So that's what we would be doing there. Well, this here, over here in Babylon the Great, we should be, but we're not yet. But let's face it, though. Okay, there's that part of it. But then there's the other part of it. The cost. $3,000 or more. And that's at the cheapest rate possible. And you can only get those rates if you're with a so-called church, 501c3 status and all that. Probably for an actual trip to Israel, you're probably looking at least 7 to 10 grand, you know. But they have those package deals if you're with a so-called 501c3 church, you know. They get over there. But let's face it, though. Hey, if I had extra money, I know where Jerusalem is. And it ain't over there in the Zionist-occupied Israeli state. Jerusalem is a people. I know where New Jerusalem is. Okay? It's 170 miles south from here. If I had the money, I'd be there. You'd see me at the San Francisco camp a lot more if I had the money. Man, I'm just waiting to hook up with them brothers, man. You know, because we're in this truth. They're my brothers, you know. And there'd be a lot more if it was financially possible. So it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It does when you ain't got it, though. But let's face it, though. If I had an extra 3 grand sitting around, I'd be going back and forth to San Francisco all the time, you know, and then paying for them to come up here too, you know, getting this thing kicking off. Things are going to happen, but it's just the financial status of that. Man, this thing's going to be kicking into hyper overdrive. So H.O.D.C says that you have to get down to Israel, that you have to get into the state of Israel, which is occupied by the Khazars. You know, which are the worst part of Esau, Edom. You know, so, anyhow, you know, another thing about this truth, though, is that you have to be willing to forsake all to give all. You know, to be a part of this. If you are not willing to put everything else, you were never worthy of him. Let's read out of Matthew, shall we? Matthew chapter 19. Now, this is the 10 Commandments being revised, and I'm going to read quite a bit out of here. But here's someone who came to Yahushai and asked him. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, this is Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. What good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? Okay. Now, is he going to tell him that you need to physically get over to Israel in order to do this? No. And he said unto them, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments, He saith unto him, which Yahushua said, Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy mother and thy father, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay, did that say anything about having to go over to Israel? Absolutely not. Because Jerusalem is a people anyways, okay? We know that the physical city was destroyed in 70 AD, and that when New Jerusalem's built, it's going to be built by the people. Well, the people is being built up right now, and then we're physically going to go over there when Yahushua returns us, not before Yahushua returns. The young man saith unto him, All these things I have kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Yahushua said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell thou that the house, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. So again, this is where it's talking about how a rich man will have a harder time entering into heaven. Here it was, he had kept all the commandments and all that, had very good riches. But Yahushua said, if you're going to be worthy of me, go ahead and sell everything. And he just couldn't do that. See, you have to be willing to give it your all. It's all or nothing, as they say when you're gambling, right? Then said Yahushua unto the disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Again, reiterating that. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of Yahweh. When the disciples heard it, if they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? And Yahushua beheld them, and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. Then answered Peter, and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all, and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, which we're in that regeneration now. We're coming into this truth. We now know that we're Israelites, blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and the confusion of faith that be among them. That is the Israelites. They have the spirit of an Israelite living in them, but do not necessarily look black, Latino, or Native American, look like the other nations. But the Spirit resides. The Spirit bears witness. That ye have followed me in the regeneration where the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. Yea, also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yashala, Israel. Everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So, you got to forsake it all, man. And that's what's happening, I get it all the time from so-called friends and family. Well, what have you been doing? I've been going out and proclaiming this truth. What'd you do for New Year's? I don't celebrate that. But what'd you do for Christmas? What'd you get for Christmas? I don't celebrate that. We're laughed at because we're different now. We're not the same as we were before, They don't understand, or they do, but they just, man, well, I only do Christmas just for the kids' sake, I know that there's no Santa Claus and da-da-da-da, Nah, man. You're not willing to forsake it all. You forsake all these customs and all that, for the work of Yahweh and Yahushua. But you got to physically go out and do it, but you got to be spiritual about this, man. You got to feel that coming in, New Jerusalem is a city that shineth, right? So that light's got to shine in you, And I'm not talking about rolling around in a 501c3 church, this little light of mine, I'm gonna shine. No, I'm not talking about that, man. But you got to have that spirit bearing witness, And what are we to do? Proclaim this, you know, while the grace period is here, you know. And, well, we're not going to be liked, we're not going to be loved, nor are we going to be understood among the wicked. If the earth shall love you, it shall love its own. But that if you be of me, the world shall hate you as it hateth me. Well, what's that talking about? It means they're going to hate what we're doing, you know, going out and proclaiming this. Because it's not the tune that they heard. We're singing a new tune, like Revelation 14 says. We're singing a new song. And only the 144,000 can learn this song. It has such complex notes that it just totally slices and dices the wicked. Because, no man, they want to say Jesus saves. Jesus loves everybody. But that's not even his name anyways. Praying to the wrong God. You know, so, again, you know, we're during the grace period, and, yeah, if you can physically come down to a camp, you know, do so. But if you're financially struggling and all that, just have faith that H.O.D.C will deliver, especially if you're doing the work. Just keep doing the work until such time as you can get the finances. That's what I'm doing, until the finances shall come. Just got to have faith in this thing. Well, what am I to do in the meantime? Go out here and proclaim this in the streets of Reading. That's what I'll do. Shalom to you hopeful elect, and brakatah to all you that are coming into this truth. Despite what you look like, if you have the spirit of prophecy, the spirit to receive this truth, that you're an Israelite. And blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you are the real Hebrew Israelites. You know, despite everything that you've been told. Because now Esau, the so-called white man, has been proven to be the liar, to be the devil in the Bible.